Greetings everyone, you're in the broom closet with Seka. It's a gorgeous day outside today. I'm gonna try to get this video out. It's very late. This video is about the second class that I attended for my Priestess training, and the subject of that class was the Wheel of the Year! Let's go. As most of you know, I have been following the Wheel of the Year for the past 2 years now, so it was really cool to have a lot of the concrete information that was given, and I wanted to share some of that with you. But first, I promised that I would share the piece of artwork that I created for my homework for the last class. We are instructed to watch one or all of the videos that were listed. I think I included those in the last video, so go check those out. And then include some bullet points to talk about. We were instructed to do 2 to 3 minutes. We could create a poem or an artistic piece, so of course I created an artistic piece. I'll basically intro my piece the same way I did in the class. I chose the series Women in Spirituality, Goddess Remembered, and it was released in 1989. And I chose this one because that was my birth year, and it just spoke to me right off the bat. I had already watched The Ascent of Woman, the 2 episodes, and then there was another one that I watched. I was kind of getting a lot of the same information, but this one stuck out to me because it was this group of women that had come together for a dinner of all races and all creeds and all backgrounds. And some of the women, Carol Christ, Starhawk, and Charlene Speckneck, they're authors, ecologists, political activists, theologians. The initial focus of the video was of Gaia and the Great Nurturing Mother, finding new visions for the future and reaching out and helping others. As I mentioned, I had already watched quite a few documentaries, so I was mindlessly doodling in my journal and continually hearing about the mother and the mother, the mother, the mother. And somewhere in my mind, the phrase, "mother is God in the eyes of a child," popped into my brain. And I don't remember where I heard this before or where it came from. And as I'm thinking about this, I'm drawing 2 hands, a mother and a child's hand, holding one another. I eventually had to Google where this phrase came from. Its origin comes from William Makepeace Thackeray, and the actual quote that I found out was, "Mother is the name of God in the lips and hearts of little children." I decided to run with this, but I needed to find some kind of deeper connection. So my inspiration, let me show you a little show and tell. I hope you can still hear me. This is my painting. I wanted to keep that feeling of the mother taking us by the hand, Gaia, birth mothers, grandmothers, adopted mothers, wild mothers, whoever it is in your life, the all-knowing and all-giving. She's the guiding force and the compassion. She's empathy and courage. She gives us the courage to unlock the unknown. So through this chaotic turbulence, these crazy, harsh, crazy lines, there is that same transition. She shares the same colors as we do, and she turns our chaotic, turbulent life, a fiery, uneven mess that is our day-to-day existence, into this beautiful dance. If we allow her. She reminds us that the earthquakes and the emotions can be soothed. It originally began with kind of an infinity shape. So it turned from an infinity shape to, it could be the yoni here with the sacred menstrual blood, or it could be a goddess shape with her waist, her hips, her waist, and her arms outstretched. I'm not used to doing anything this raw. I'm used to looking at a photo and copying more or less. I've been called a copy machine by more than one professor in my lifetime. So I needed to have that connection. I needed to not only go from this deep-rooted place in my heart, I needed some kind of visual connection to strengthen that. So I decided, I knew I had this picture lying around somewhere, and I decided to use my mother, my own mother, as an inspiration. So there she is guiding me by the hand. So I used us as an inspiration. So back to second class. This was about the Wheel of the Year. Some of the notes that were taken, my good friend Kelly and I are taking notes together. I don't know, I want to kind of share these. This is the note layout that I decided to go with. And I can just read a few things for you. And I can take a snapshot and share that with you. But the name or term pagan, I did not know, actually means of the country or country dweller. And for those newcomers who are just finding this video, I will try to sum up what the Wheel of the Year is. I actually have a very good representation here somewhere. The Wheel of the Year is a more pagan idea that follows the solstices and equinoxes of the seasons, as well as some lesser holidays. I'll share this with you. Here is a good representation. For most people, Samhain is the pagan New Year, so it will start there, so it would look like this. However, you go around, so these are the solstices vertically, equinoxes across from each other. We just went through Imbolc, and Ostara is coming around. Oh my gosh, it's so close. Ostara is one of my favorite times of the year. I just decorated for Ostara. And the Wheel of the Year is a symbol that can be used to acknowledge and recognize our spiritual path. It helps us understand our relationships within the flow of life. The flow of life and its relationship to the Wheel of the Year affects us spiritually and energetically. Many different concepts and symbols were collected and contributed to the formation of the Wheel of the Year. And a lot of these festivals and celebrations have been reappropriated by the Christian faith to incorporate their belief system. These are ancient celebrations that just honored the time of the year. So we now know Yule to be Christmas. Very good. Imbolc, Bridget's Day, they had such a hard time reappropriating Bridget's Day that they just dubbed it that's where Saint Bridget comes from, or Bridget. Ostara is Easter. Beltane is May Day. That is usually, I did this actually when I went to Catholic school and Catholic church. May Day is when they crown Mary, I believe it's her Ascension. Don't quote me on that. If it's not, just leave a comment below and tell me what it actually is, but it's the crowning of Mary. Letha is summer solstice. I'm not sure if they reappropriated anything for that one. Around and around, Mabon. Halloween, and Mabon is traditionally a time of the harvest, so you could correlate that with Thanksgiving. If you're interested in this subject, there's a really awesome book that I've read called Pagan Origins of Christian Holidays by Elisha Israel, and I'll link that below. So there are a couple more books that I want to give you, and I'll put all those down below, and a couple different names as well. We also discussed the term mudras, which I had never heard before. Mudras are ritualistic or symbolic gestures usually done with the hands or fingers. The Christian faith does the sign of the cross, Catholics do the sign of the cross, and pagans will sometimes do the pentagram. We also discussed sacred feminine symbols such as the circle, of course, the spiral, the moon that is greatly associated with feminine power, and also the svastika, which is different than the Nazi swastika. I'll just read to you the note about this. Hitler was very interested in the occult, and much research was done before he chose the swastika as his symbol of domination. Typically, the direction of the sun wheel, it's also known as a sun wheel, is an angle pointing counterclockwise, which is the feminine and creative direction. Hitler knew that when reversed, the symbol represented masculinity and destruction. However, the sun wheel has been portrayed going both directions, and many have had different associations in various cultures. We also discussed the importance of reclaiming these symbols with these negative connotations, such as the swastika, the pentagram, the snake. So it's pretty important that we educate as well as empower these symbols back into our beliefs. I think that about wraps up the notes. I'm going to list some of the books in the description below for you and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to do this video outside today because it's gorgeous. I hung up all my Ostara decorations, and I was going to try and talk and restring my witch's ladder that I had already done a video of. However, I had a hard enough time actually just doing this reading from my actual notes. So everyone, I wish you many blessings. I can't wait to talk to you soon. I will hopefully be making another video this weekend. I'm going to be attending a public seminar. That sounds better. I'm going to be attending a public seminar with Max Danshu, and she is the author of Witches and Pagans, so I'm going to include that down below. But check her out. So that'll be on Saturday. And then Sunday is my third class, so about the Sacred Feminine. So more videos coming your way. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to try to edit this all together. I got a new computer, so I don't really know how well it's going to work. Blessed be. Goodbye.